Good day. Welcome to a session, DataVaults, the road to a trusted personal data space. I will be the host of the session. My name is Yuri Glickman. I'm a researcher at Fraunhofer Focus. And together with my colleagues from the DataVaults project, we are organizing this session for you. And at the end of the session, we will be glad to answer your questions. So please let me share my screen. So we could start. Okay. Wonderful. As you can guess from the name, the session is dedicated to personal data platforms, and DataVaults, it's one of the projects which is developing such a platform. So I already quickly introduced myself. So I'm a researcher from Berlin in Germany, and I'm a deputy head of the Department of Digital Public Services, specialized on support of public, European and German, especially public administration in their modernization with help of IT technology, and our special focus is on data platforms. We are developing many data platforms, especially for open data, or managing data and personal data. And this is my main research interest, I would say. And I'm coordinator of DataVaults project, which I will present today. And I'm not alone. I have three my colleagues from the project, with Vincent Koinen from Enderman 7, CEO of Enderman 7, an innovative SME in Belgium. Paolo Boscolo. Paolo is the IT director of Comune di Prato in Italy. And Sotirios Kousouris, managing director of a Suite 5 SME innovative company. And he is also a technical leader of DataVaults project. So we all will make a short presentations, and we will reserve some time for discussion at the end or for answering your questions. So my role here is just to give you a short overview of the project, what it's all about, and what are we trying to achieve. As I'm the coordinator, and our project started in 2020 in January, and will continue until end of the next month. We are quite a big project. It's one of the projects funded by the European Commission on the ICT 13 topic, supporting the emergence of data markets and the data economy. We are quite a big consortium. As you can see on the right side of the slides, we have quite big corporations in our consortium, and many well-known research organizations, and many innovative SMEs. We have a very good partner supporting us on legal and ethics issues. It's ETA Consulting. And we have 5 very interesting demonstrators, and at the same time, data providers. 2 of them will be speaking today and will present their plans and what we are doing. And I will just give you now a quick overview about them. So the first one, it's a sport club, Olympiacos. For sure, you know Olympiacos. It's well known in many sport arts, like football or basketball or many others. And this is our partner on sports and activity personal data demonstrator. We have a municipality of Piraeus, which is one of the biggest, or maybe even biggest European ports in Greece. We have Enderman 7. Vincent will talk today, and Enderman 7, it's a very interesting, innovative company producing interesting product. Another demonstrator is dedicated smart energy and smart energy data with MIW Energia company, also in our SME, this time from Spain. And finally, but not last, it's Prato municipality. Paula will present today personal data for municipal services and the tourism industry pilot scenarios. So what it's all about, it's about sharing personal and not necessarily personal, but data coming from individuals. And we all know it's a fast growing market. And there is a huge interest from the companies because they want to know their customers. And there are a lot of drawbacks on this way for individuals to start sharing their data. But the reality is we are already all sharing our data, and we are sharing our data more and more with every day because we are consuming services from big companies. And at the moment, control over data is mostly by big companies. And there are a lot of types of data which we are sharing, and we are not even always aware about that, or not so, let's say, explicitly aware. Of course, we agreed to conditions what we are sharing data, and maybe from a legislative point of view, everything is all right. But usually people even don't read what we agree when we're subscribing to a certain electronic service, or when we're installing an app for getting bonus points in the supermarket or something. And now it's, at least in Germany, it's becoming more and more popular. Almost every chain in German supermarket networks, we have own applications, which is monitoring what you are buying, who you are, when you go to the supermarket. And you can imagine how much data we're collecting about you, and we know your profile and who you are. So, and of course, all these also make a lot of concerns by people. Many of them, they understand certain risks which could come if someone criminal could get access to this data, or corporations misuse this data. And I feel a certain lack of control. And it's very difficult for a private person to understand all these risks. And at the same time, we're getting some services, we're sharing data, but not explicitly. And when a certain researcher or someone comes to them and asks to share their data, we're afraid to do it. So it's important to let them know what actually sharing is happening already, and what by sharing the information which we already shared to big corporation, we could help to the city or to certain another non-profit organization, maybe to improve the quality of services. And maybe we could share this data in another way without disclosing their personality, without disclosing really personal data, but disclosing kind of anonymized or pseudonymized data. There is a huge lack of trust on that. And we did, well, we started from one of the important things. We ran a study with the citizens to find out what is actually their attitude to data sharing. And we found out what actually there is no such a great willingness, what is understandable, but it's kind of neutral thinking about sharing, but there are a lot of thinking about dangers. So we would like to have more control. We would prefer to share just anonymized data. We are not actually so much know about compensation mechanisms. It does not necessarily need to be money. It could be a certain interesting service. So sometimes we like to support community or support certain interesting movements. So people actually more tend to share their data for such purpose than for getting some small cents for their data. And of course, they don't want to be too busy with sharing their data. It should be a simple process. And they would like to have a certain automatisms, but with their control. So they could trust this mechanism and at the same time don't spend too much time on sharing data. So what we want to offer them? So we want to offer them, and to you, of course, to give you control and offer you a solution for which you could share the data with whom you will, how you will, and under conditions which you define. So this is important. And our offer, it's a platform, so which covers such a flow, starting from collecting data, which is already a challenge, and to providing insights to you or maybe to target also consumer of your data. And of course, it's everything under control of individual users. So where everything starts from collection of data, we have many sources. It's difficult to collect data, and we are providing a convenient tool based on Fraunhofer open source development called Pivot Consus. We are using this tool, which enables us to collect data from different sources. And this data is coming to personal data vault, which is in a kind of a mobile application, or it's application in the personal cloud of a user, where data is stored and where a user can control the data, make aggregation, and make already certain pseudonymization or anonymization of this data. And then a user can decide what kind of data the user wants to share through a kind of a market, which we offer. And this is a cloud data vault platform where a certain analysis of data can be done and where trusted and secure sharing is enabled. And we are using a lot of security technologies starting from TPM attestation. We are using attribute-based access control and attribute-based encryption. We are using searchable encryption. And of course, we are using layered anonymization. And the user can define with whom a user wants to share, under which conditions, and for how long. And data seeker can make an offer. And thanks to blockchain technology, which we are using, we are realizing smart contracts between the user and data seeker in order to enable them to trade data. And we are also providing the mechanism and working on providing new mechanisms to give a value back from data seeker to individual providers. So this is a very important point, and my colleague Sotiris will talk, I think, about this aspect and its importance in the last presentation of the session. And data seeker gets insights and also can share these insights back with individual users or use these insights in their business. So this is important. And of course, we need to be in the legal and ethics framework. This is one of the important aspects in our project, and we've spent on it a lot of time. And you can read our report where we did a very detailed analysis on the legal and ethics framework in Europe on national and European level. So here's I think I don't have so much time. Here's a quick overview of what actually we have in our platform. We did a mapping of our architecture to standardize the pipeline coming from a database project, which is which is providing recommendations how to map what other research projects are doing to a kind of standard data value chain. And here you can see there are 4 main steps: data acquisition, data storage, analytics, machine learning, and action, interaction, visualization, access. So 4 different colors are used to show what kind of components in our architecture associated with which part of the data value chain. So everything started from data fetcher, which collects data. After that, data comes to personal asset store, where it could be anonymized and where user can define access policies. Then on the third step, analytics engine can be used on the third step to analyze data, and when sharing configuration, where user can define how the data can be shared under which conditions and so on. So what are these policies for sharing? And the second